You want to make progress, you're ambitious, and you want to achieve good things out of life. But right now, everything just feels boring and unfulfilling. And that's just because you're doing the wrong things. Maybe they used to be good in the past, but right now, that's not what you need. They might feel easy and just empty, like you're not making progress even though you're pushing hard. And that's because we're maybe pushing on the wrong things. You might work hard, but you're not actually going outside of your comfort zone. You're avoiding the work that actually needs to be done. And it's just because we lie to ourselves and think that, yeah, I can push hard on this thing and I'm gonna make progress. But if we're really honest, it's not what we actually need to do. It's not what we actually want to do. And then we're just gonna be bored and unfulfilled because we're doing the wrong things. So what we need to do is to admit that we are afraid, that we tend to avoid things because everyone does. And if you don't admit that, you're not gonna make progress. So the first step is to just admit that you are afraid of some things that you want to do, and that's just a great step to start with. If we can just admit that we're afraid of certain actions, then we're gonna be able to see that what we actually need to do, because really the way to make progress is by pushing beyond our limits, doing what we think is not possible, but usually it is, because we know that sometimes when we've done things that we thought were very scary and that we couldn't do, when we actually go ahead and do it, it's not that scary. Like once we take the first step, once we make the jump or whatever, it feels easy and it feels fun, exciting, and we want to do it again. And that's life when lived on the edge. We're doing the things that we are afraid of doing, but we do them anyway. And that's how we push beyond ourselves, that's how we make progress and gonna feel direction, because that's literally where you're supposed to go. If you do what you're afraid of doing and what you have been avoiding, you're going in the right direction, because you're filling in the gaps that you have been avoiding for such a long time, just because we couldn't admit that we were afraid of doing them. So start by admitting what it is that you need to do. For example, yesterday I realized that I want to learn doing what is it called, when you make a roll on the grass, just rolling. I couldn't do that. I have never been able to just roll on the grass, but I just decided I'm going to do it. So I went outside and I stood there and waited. It felt scary, but as soon as I just did the jump, it just worked and I made the roll. Stupid thing to mention, but like, it just shows that it's not actually scary once you take the first step. So if we can just realize what it is that we actually want to do and just force ourselves to do it, and not stopping and overthinking all the time, because if we can just do what we're afraid of doing and stop overthinking and making up these lies that, yeah, maybe I should just go to the gym instead and practice my normal bench press. But what you actually want to do is to learn to roll on the grass. So stop overthinking and do what you're afraid of doing. Just go ahead right now, and there's literally nothing stopping you. It's only these limiting beliefs that we have, that we can't do certain things. That's not even true. There's all of these things that we want to do, but we just believe that they aren't meant for us, that we for some stupid reason can't do them. Others can go speak to that girl, others can make a backflip or whatever, but we can't, for some stupid reason. Just we can't, and we can't even define why. It's just because we have this limiting belief that we can't do it. So realize that that's not true. We can do what we're afraid of doing. Just because we're afraid of something doesn't mean that we can't do it. So we just need to start doing what we're afraid of doing. It's that simple. Like, if you can start always pushing outside of your comfort zone, you're not gonna feel bored. You're not gonna feel that you're unfulfilled doing things that are empty, because you're actually doing what you want to do. Because usually what you're afraid of doing is what you actually want to do, but you have avoided it for such a long time, and you feel like you're never making progress because there's this thing that you need to do, but you never do it. You always just push it up and think that, yeah, I'm gonna make progress in this goal first, and then when I'm doing this, I'm gonna make that. Just do the thing that you want to do now. Like, stop overcomplicating things so much. Like, there's no reason to do that. I've done that so much, But now I'm just going to start doing the things that I'm afraid of doing, that I've always wanted to do from the very beginning. So I'm living the life that was meant for me, the life that I wanted to live. And if you live the life that you wanted to live from the very beginning, you're not gonna feel empty, you're not gonna feel unfulfilled. You're going to feel excited, and it's going to be fun, and people will notice it, and they're going to want to follow you and be friends with you because you're living on the edge, you're doing what's meant for you, you're living the life that you were supposed to do, and you don't let fear stop you. Stop letting fear control you. It's so stupid. And so you just need to take some action that you're afraid of doing. Whatever it is, it can be any action. There's multiple things that I know that you're afraid of. You have to admit it, that you want to be like, I want to do that thing, but I can't do it because blah blah blah, but he can do it. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and do that thing right now. It's probably not a hard thing. Don't start with the hardest thing. Do something that you're afraid of doing, you have been avoiding, and you actually want to do it. Like, don't bullshit yourself, like tell yourself that, yeah, I'm gonna do this thing, but actually what you really want to do is that you have to fulfill that thing. You have to do it, because otherwise it's gonna be in your mind and you're never gonna make progress, because you never fulfill this first thing. You first, before you can go ahead and make bigger things in life, you need to complete this thing that you're afraid of doing. You can't have this thing that's stopping you from becoming a bigger, better person, because you're never pushing past this small obstacle that's barely, like, you can step through it, but it feels like it's an obstacle, but it's really just your mental belief that you can't do it, but you can do it. So start right now doing the action that you are afraid of doing, but you actually want to do. So don't lie to yourself, don't bullshit yourself. The action you actually want to do, you just have to do it. If we can, I'm just trying to tell you this so much because I've just realized that if we can just do what we're afraid of doing and stop overcomplicating and thinking that there's some better path that someone tells us to do, that we're gonna make progress, that's just not true. So we just have to realize that if you can simply do what you're afraid of doing, most people don't, that's why most people don't achieve anything. But if you can do that, you're gonna achieve success, because there's literally nothing stopping you, because there's literally only you that can stop you from getting success. So if you can get rid of yourself that's trying to stop yourself, because that old past version of you is afraid of stepping out into the unknown, if you can get rid of that, you're always gonna be able to make progress, and there's literally nothing stopping you. So it's just gonna be free for all, going ahead and achieving your goals. So take some action right now. Stop being afraid. You can't, I mean, of course we're going to be afraid, but we can't let fear control us. We're gonna do the thing anyway. So go ahead and do it right now. Thanks for listening to this video, and I will see you in the next one.